Dear students, in this video we can study about graph theory. We can see what is a graph, the story behind the birth of graph theory, and some basic terminologies associated with graph theory. There is a historically noted problem in mathematics that gave birth to graph theory. This problem was posed in 1736. The city of Königsberg in Prussia was set on both sides of the Pregel River and included two large islands which were connected to each other and the mainland by seven bridges. The problem was stated like this. Starting at one land area, is it possible to walk across all the bridges exactly once and return to the starting land area? The islands could not be reached by any other route than bridges. This is the pictorial representation of the Königsberg Bridge problem. Here, land areas are marked as ABCD and bridges are labeled as ABCDEFG. Here, you can start from any city, travel through all the bridges exactly once and come back to the starting city. Many mathematicians tried to solve this particular problem, but they could not come up with a satisfactory solution. 1736, Euler represented Königsberg Bridge problem using a graph, and he answered the question in negative. He has proved that there is no satisfactory solution for this particular problem. This marked the birth of graph theory. He has done is he has represented different land areas using circles and bridges were represented using some lines. You can see that if you are starting from B, you can visit all the cities and all the branches, but after you reach B, you will find at least one bridge that is not visited. So there is no solution for this particular problem. We cannot visit all the bridges exactly once and come back to the starting city. There will remain one bridge which is not visited. Now we can see what is meant by a graph. A graph G is defined as a collection of vertices and edges such that each edge is identified with an ordered pair of vertices. Here V represents set of vertices and E represents set of edges. Each edge EK is identified with an ordered pair of vertices Vi and Vj. Here you can see an example for a graph. V1, V2, V3, V4 and V5 are the vertices of this particular graph. E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6 and E7 are the edges. The vertices Vi and Vj associated with Ek are called end vertices of an edge. In this particular graph, V1 and V2 are the end vertices of E3, V4 and V5 are the end vertices of E7, like that it goes. Now we can see some terminologies that are associated with graph theory. An edge having the same vertex as both its end vertices is called a self-loop or loop. If more than one edge is associated with a given pair of vertices, that edges are called parallel edges. Here you can see a sample graph. It is a graph with 5 vertices and 7 edges. Edge E1 is a self-loop as end vertices of E1 is V2. Edges E4 and E5 are parallel edges because they are associated with the given pair of vertices V1 and V3. A graph having no self-loop or parallel edges is called a symbol graph. Here you can see a symbol graph. A graph with a finite number of vertices and edges is called finite graph. Otherwise, it is called an infinite graph. A symbol graph is a graph without any self-loop or parallel edges. A pseudograph means a graph that contains self-loop and parallel edges. Example is given here. A graph which is permitted to have multiple edges between a pair of vertices is termed as a multigraph. A multigraph is shown here, and here you can see that within a pair of vertices, in one case two edges are there and in the other case three edges are there. When more than one edges are permitted between a pair of vertices, that is termed as multigraph. When a vertex Vi is an end vertex of some edge Ej, Vi and Ej are said to be incident with each other. Edges E2, E6, E7 are incident with the vertex V4. Two non-parallel edges are said to be adjacent if they are incident on a common vertex. Edges E2 and E7 are adjacent. Two vertices are said to be adjacent if they are the end vertices of the same edge. Vertices V4 and V5 are adjacent. Now please try to identify other adjacent edges and other adjacent vertices in the given graph. If the number of edges incident on a vertex Vi with self-loop counted twice is called the degree of a vertex. It is normally denoted as d of Vi. Here you can see that from the given graph we can write degree of V1, degree of the vertex V3 and V4 are equal to 3. Degree of V2 is equal to 4 because V is having two edges incidenting on it and one self loop. Self loop should be counted as of degree 2. So degree of V2 is equal to 4. Degree of V5 is equal to 1 as only one edge is incidenting on V5. A vertex having no incident edge is called an isolated vertex. In the given graph, vertex V5 is an isolated vertex. Isolated vertex has degree 0. A vertex of degree 1 is called pendant vertex. In the given graph, vertex V3 is a pendant vertex. Two adjacent edges are said to be in series if their common vertex is of degree 2. Here, edges E3 and E5 incident on V1 are in series. A graph without any edge is called a null graph. A null graph with 5 vertices is shown in the figure. Now we can see what is meant by a complete graph. A simple graph in which there exists an edge between every pair of vertices is called a complete graph. A complete graph with n vertices is represented as k suffix n. It is also known as universal graph or clique. The degree of every vertex in a complete graph with n vertices kn is n minus 1. Total number of edges in graph G will be n into n minus 1 by 2. Here you can see two complete graphs with two vertices and three vertices respectively. For these vertices, the total number of edges can be calculated using n into n minus 1 by 2. Here you can see complete graphs with only one vertex, two vertices, three vertices, four vertices and five vertices. Please go through the video once again and try to understand the basic concepts that are related to graph theory. Thank you.